So, if I'm not mistaken, here it is. We're at the end of March right now. So, I believe the tariffs, if I'm not mistaken, some of those tariffs start hitting sometime next week, if I'm not mistaken. And so, that's when the rubber hits the road, and we're really going to see, what's going to happen, in people's everyday lives and the economy and stuff like that. Particularly when some of the inventory of certain things begins to deplete, and so then you've got new product, going back and forth across the border, and that's when you're going to start seeing those tariffs kick in.
Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of people don't look at when they buy a product, right? And you hold the product up and you're reading it, but we never read where it's actually made at. Because generally we pick products up off the shelf, we think, oh, made in America, you know.
Mhm.
So you see, fucking the Republic of Vietnam, made in Mexico, or
Pakistan,
um,
China,
yeah,
wherever.
and China is all over. You know, it came out recently that the Trump hats, "Make America Great Again" hats,
They're all made in China.
made in China. Oh, okay, you know, but that's how it goes sometimes. That's capitalism, right?
Yeah.
And when you think about capitalism, I don't know I don't know if I'm running off track here, but when we're talking about capitalism, um, you go to the place where you can make the product for the less money and sell it back
For the biggest
for
profit.
more money.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah. So guess where they all ran to? Fucking Mexico, China, Singapore, wherever,
Hmm.
right? All those companies fucking left because that was capitalism,
Right.
right?
Yep. And they made billions, hundreds of billions doing it.
Billion.
Right.
And they ain't paying no taxes, or if they're paying taxes, it's very small taxes
Right.
for the profit that they're making.
Correct.
So
Hmm.
when it really boils down to, they ain't paying no taxes at all, you know.
Yeah. So you know who
And
Peter Navarro is, right?
mhm.
So I was watching this clip of his where it was an interview, and he was basically trying to say that the big three, American automakers aren't necessarily, I guess American companies because some of their products, or I guess some of their components, come from outside the U.S. And I'm just thinking to myself, man, you're a fucking idiot, first of all. And then, like, he tried to say companies like Toyota or Honda, who have plants here in the U.S., or more American companies than the big three. Keep in mind, these companies are headquartered in Japan, and just because they build here doesn't mean that all the components are coming from here. First of all, and I'm just going to counter that stupid ass comment of his of saying, what did you have for breakfast today? What did you have for lunch? What did you have for dinner? Okay. Because not everything that we consume here in terms of food comes from here because, you go through seasonal type of things in agriculture. So other times of the year, we're getting produce from Mexico, from Central America, from South America. And it doesn't take a genius to know you are what you eat. So maybe that salsa or maybe that tomatoes, those tomatoes you had in your salad a couple of days ago, maybe it came from Honduras or something like that. So does it mean that you're not American anymore? Now, now you're part, Central American, or maybe that spinach that you ate, came from Colombia. So now you're part Colombian. I'm just like, come on, man. It's like, what, what planet are you
Yeah.
from?
I mean, look, um, I heard some I heard something that I guess they changed the name from the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf
The
of
Gulf of
America.
America, yeah.
Right. That shit ain't never gonna fly because he's he's going by executive order. So
Right.
if if we don't have another Republican president after this motherfucker, then it all reverts back because it's not law. It's just an executive order.
Sure.
But I heard he was trying to change the name of Washington D.C. to America City, or I don't. Did you hear
God,
something?
no. But we'll have to be sure to follow that, and I have to be sure to do some research on that as well.
Okay, all
I
right.
would I wouldn't put it past him now. Yeah.
No. Shit. Maybe I was just high when I heard that shit. You know. But yeah, you can't put nothing past Trump.
Oh
Should
no.
Trump.
Shit, Trump.
This
Yeah, man.
motherfucker off the chain. He off the chain. He don't give a fuck.
Yeah. No.
He really don't. He has no norms, no social values, no decorum about himself. He's just like,
No.
I'm gonna do
It's
what the
like
fuck I want.
I'm just gonna do what I want, and I dare you to try and stop
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. Because I'm gonna primary your ass, you bitch. And all
Right.
these motherfuckers are cowering in the corner because they
Hmm.
know when they go to the Congress or the Senate that they're gonna make millions.
Oh
And
yeah.
don't listen to him, then they ain't gonna make the millions.
Right. It'd be I mean, of course I know this is gonna happen, but if it did, yeah, if we were able to see who, and this is for both sides, I mean, like who was actually, bankrolling these people's campaigns, i.e., taking dark money out of politics, and then I'd say a lot of these problems will go away in terms of the fleecing of America, if you would, when it comes to the rich taking everything they want, and the demolition of the middle class and putting everybody in the poorhouse. Because really, that's what
You
this
know
is
what
coming
the
down
greatest
to.
thing about America is?
What's that?
We can print money. And people buy into that bullshit that is worth something. That we can just print ungodly amounts of money, just paper, right? Like what is the national debt at now? At like
Oh, it's
$32 trillion.
something ungodly ridiculous. But
So
here's
how do you actually pay that back?
oh, I'm going to
That
tell you. So,
people will be satisfied by that. Say, all right, you want to get your piece, you want your piece. How do you actually pay that back?
so the way that it's been done right now is one in petrodollars, and then also in terms of treasury bonds. That basically sell our debt, to other countries. Now,
Okay, can I stop you right there? You
yes,
said petrodollars and treasury bonds.
yes,
What are those backed up by?
U.S. dollars.
And what is a US dollar?
That's what we say it is, basically.
It's fiat money.
You said,
Just like what you said, what
yeah,
we say it is.
right,
So it's backed up by nothing.
nothing, right.
Just what we say it is. Okay, keep going.
I see you've come prepared to be my guest then.